The industry has some massive issues when it comes to Danger Boy. Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So Danger Boy Deegs, welcome back to the swimming pool. Listen friends, we got to talk about this because what I'm seeing is a little bit alarming on one hand and just revealing on the other. Basically, Deegs came out and fired first and said, I'll be West, come all comers, I'm ready, I'll take on anybody. Put Jet the Wonder Boy on a 250, I'll take him down too. I mean, this is basically full send Danger Boy Deegs. Now, Danger Boy Deegs, this is super multi-layered because Danger Boy Deegs knows one speed, full send. This dude does not know how to back it down. He's pretty much the essence of checkers or wreckers, in my opinion. Now, we'll see if he's matured, which I'm sure he has at some extent, but you cannot change the DNA of Danger Boy. This dude, I believe, if he finds himself in a battle, even if it's going to cost him a win, he will battle anyway. He's got an axe to grind, a point to prove. It's been handed down from his dad. This is in this dude's DNA. Now, here's what's revealing to me on one hand. In the industry, you've got a lot of issues right now because you've invested all your time, money, and marketing into the Wonder Boy Jet Lawrence. But here's the thing. Danger Boy Deegs is now more popular than the Wonder Boy, and you don't know how to handle him. And I'll tell you what, rightfully so, because I don't think Danger Boy Deegs is going to allow you to control him the way you've controlled the Wonder Boy, because Danger Boy Deegs came to the table already rich, where the Lawrence family basically was not. So you were able to direct them however you saw fit, utilizing money to do it. Now, I don't think you're going to get that from Danger Boy. And even if you offered him $1 gazillion, I just don't know. I don't know if he's going to conform into the mold that maybe you would love to see him conform to. But the reality is this. He's announced, I'll be West. I'll be West. And so everybody else did what? And this is where it really looks bad for the other manufacturers and teams. For the most part, they're all going east. They don't want anything to do with Danger Boy. Danger Boy probably isn't going to have much competition. Frenchie Vial, he's going to go defend his number one play east. That makes sense. But he's lucky. He's lucky because if Danger Boy had gone east, he would not have been able to defend that plate successfully. I believe Danger Boy Deegs would have dethroned him instantly. Danger Boy Deegs, similar to the Wonder Boy, the only one that can beat Danger Boy is Danger Boy. Now, I will say this. I believe Danger Boy is a little more of a loose cannon when it comes to being on the bike than Jet Lawrence. Jet Lawrence has, in fact, backed it down. To tame that 450, he's got the finesse needed in order to be able to just bring it in. He's happy with the second if he needs to take one. At this point, the dude's already cashed his check. There's no reason for him to go out and have a perfect season or anything. Will he take it if it's there? Of course. Danger Boy Deegs, I think, runs the risk of possibly cartwheeling this season and maybe taking himself out of it, because even though he should be on easy street, sure, there'll be a couple guys in the West that could potentially maybe get in there, but they're going to need a start, and Danger to not get a start in order to do that. Danger Boy is head and shoulders above the rest when it comes to speed and talent, and he's got the momentum and his full send attitude. The dude is just basically fearless. And the other guys, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, Moto is so dangerous. Once you've had that big gnarly hit and crash, it usually can change your riding style. You won't be as willing to risk it all. Danger Boy hasn't had that accident yet. Before last Supercross season, he kept that thumb injury under wraps, which apparently was, significant, but it wasn't like a big, hit to the head or a snapped leg that required a bunch of surgeries. It wasn't the big injury. It was a standard issued moto industry, in my opinion. But for me, the manufacturers, I mean, this is what it comes down to, and the industry itself. We see what's happening with KTM, right? They are on the verge of failing, right? And there's probably some other teams that did the same thing as KTM in terms of projected earnings, based it on euphoric stimulus era incomes or influx of revenues, and they possibly are sitting on a lot of inventory as well. Now, the KTM group, because they got bit off way more than they can chew, they might not be able to weather the storm. I think other teams and companies probably can weather the storm. I doubt we'll see any others fail. It's possible if there's like a recession that hits like we had in the 08 era, but even worse, where bike sales just fall off a cliff, we could see some Triumphs and Ducatis have to shelf a lot of their programs too. These new teams that don't have the cash reserves to float through a recession. So, I mean, this will be a brave new era that we enter into if that in fact plays out, regardless of what plays out. It's playing out for KTM. I mean, the writing's on the wall. So if you're any of these other manufacturers, you know, Danger Boy did you a favor by saying where he's going, because you're automatically, let's go east, because we have a better chance of winning a title over there than if we go west. And at the end of the day, these teams now, they need money. I can guarantee you one thing, because I've worked in the industry deep. Sponsorship dollars is what these teams run on. It's going to start shrinking. Let's say, I don't care, I don't know who it is, whatever it is, your gear or tire or whatever type of sponsor you have. Usually your gear sponsor is one of the biggest sponsors you'll have. And a lot of these gear sponsors nowadays, they're just like if you're Tomac or Webb or one of these big heavy hitters, a lot of times the team will say, hey, we're under contract with these gear sponsors. We need you to run this gear. But now they're letting them go negotiate their own gear deals. Back in the day, we didn't have that. You were running our gear. At least, I mean, pretty much you were running whatever the team sponsors were. That's what you were running. Now they're seeing guys like, agents are negotiating their own deals. So we're going to see a lot of these sponsorship dollars that are attached to these teams shrink. I saw it before. I've seen it. Hey, listen, our sale, I mean, they can't pay. Let's say during the crisis, you were paying whatever, 500 grand, 100 grand, whatever it was to be a sponsor of one of these teams. But now your sales are down and the team's coming to the table like, hey, we want to sign you up again for another year and renew our contract with you. And you're like, yeah, we'd love to do that. This is what we can pay this year. And these teams are like, well, our cost to go race is the same, but you're offering us less. We're going to have to go shop this around. And that leaves a bad taste in sponsors' mouths if you're shopping it around. And then you come back because you couldn't get a better offer from one of these other sponsors, gear or whatnot. And then all of a sudden you're back like, hey, we'll take that deal that you offered after all. This is the stuff that's played out. Sponsors don't dig that. Now, the industry, you're in trouble too. Because the fact is that you have Danger Boy now eclipsing the Wonder Boy. So what you're going to see next is Danger's not going to play by your rules. He's not going to play by the rules. I can guarantee you that. If he does, it's not going to be full compliance. You might get partial compliance out of Danger Boy. But I know, and I know money will talk. Money will talk. But you guys, I'm interested to see if a recession gets ushered in, which it looks like it's going to, based on what we're seeing out of KTM failing. Do you think that this playoff payout structure can sustain itself? There's a good chance this playoff might fall on its face. The structure, the dollars will shrink if the revenues shrink. Now, we see the industry out there negotiating deals with like whatever it is, FanDuel or one of these other gambling platforms to come now be a sponsor of the series. So they're collecting a bunch of money. But at some point, if these people start to shrink, I mean, if the economy shrinks, the industry shrinks. They're projected forecasting. They've promised these riders a bunch of huge payouts to not go overseas and race, stay here and race these playoff rounds. It's not going to sustain itself forever. There's a good chance that if the economy shrinks, those dollars will shrink. Now, if you're a rider, if you're like one of these riders, you're just used to making your money. You have never lived through a recession before. You don't understand. With this guy in this suit, this Wall Street guy's telling me about their money's not available. I don't care. Tell my agent to go out there and negotiate me a deal then with somebody else. Blah, blah, blah. This is how it's going to play out. It's really going to get gnarly. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy that wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. Shark infested. Danger Boy, welcome back to the swimming pool. Dude, listen, you're on easy street right now. My advice to you, and I never suggest anything that I'm not doing or willing to do myself, be cautious right about now. Understand the industry is fragile. You see what's happening at KTM. You need to go out there and smoke everybody and bring this thing home. Don't play by the industry's rules. Without you, they have much less market appeal. Let them know who's really boss. In the meantime, Walty will be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.